Imagine owning 10% of Apple. Not one share, not 100 shares, but the whole 10% of the entire company. Now imagine selling that stake for just $800. Today, it would be worth hundreds of billions of dollars. It sounds unbelievable, but it's a true story, and it belongs to a man almost nobody remembers, Ronald Wayne.
When people talk about Apple, two names always come up: Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. But very few people know there was a third founder. His name was Ronald Wayne. Unlike Jobs and Wozniak, Wayne was older and carried far more business experience. He helped write Apple's first partnership agreement and designed the company's very first logo. At the start, ownership was split three ways. Jobs held 45%, Wozniak held 45%, and Wayne held the remaining 10%. It looked like the opportunity of a lifetime, but nobody knew if Apple would survive.
In 1976, Apple was a tiny startup running out of a garage with almost no money and no proven track record. The company had landed one large order, but filling it meant borrowing money, and that made Wayne nervous. He already owned property and had personal assets that could be wiped out if the business collapsed. He had watched a previous venture fail and had no appetite to go through that again. So, just days after helping create Apple, Wayne made his decision. He sold his entire 10% back to the other founders for around $800. He later accepted a small additional payment to permanently sign away any future claim to the company. At the time, it felt like the sensible move. The rest is history. Apple grew from that garage into one of the most valuable companies ever built. The Macintosh, the iPod, the iPhone, the iPad, each one reshaped how people interact with technology. Steve Jobs became one of the most recognized entrepreneurs of the modern era, and Ronald Wayne watched it all from the outside. People often frame his story as losing hundreds of billions of dollars, but Wayne himself has pushed back on that in interviews. He made the call based on the information and the risks in front of him at the time. He was not a young man with nothing to lose. He had something to protect, and he protected it. What his story really reveals is how genuinely difficult it is to see where things are going. Every company that became enormous once looked like a long shot. Every person who built lasting wealth once looked like someone taking a foolish gamble. The opportunities that turn out to matter most rarely announce themselves clearly. So here is the question worth sitting with. If you had been in Ronald Wayne's position in 1976, with your savings and your property on the line, would you have held on to your 10% of Apple, or would you have taken the $800 and walked away? Leave your answer in the comments and subscribe for more stories about the decisions, the people, and the moments that shaped the business world.